People use their like phones as remotes now because you know they people can't find it. It just keeps slipping in the couches and stuff.
But they always got that motherfucking phone on them.
We ain't gonna go through that now.
Well, it's fine. I mean, they can't hear it. So
I think it'll be all right.
I be getting distracted. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Get your shit together, bro.
yeah, man, you gotta get your mind right. And speaking of mind, welcome back, everybody. This is the Burchalations podcast, episode 25, man.
What is wrong with you, man?
He's still looking. All right.
25.
Well, anyway, guys,
It's not on this count.
this is 25, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's not on this count.
Okay. Well, it's fine. They can't hear it. You get to see Michigan beat Ohio State or not. Make you feel better. But anyways, guys, welcome back.
That didn't happen.
Dylan, man. We have our guest on. He was on, I forgot which episode
21.
it was. Was it like 21?
21.
21, yes.
How do you remember that?
Cause I be watching all of them.
Good Lord, how do you remember that?
Especially
Because also too, I remember getting in the mic and being like 21 when y'all did that.
Oh yeah,
When y'all did the
yeah.
intro.
Yeah.
Okay.
None of y'all even got that reference. It kind of just shoot.
It didn't go over my head.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Now, before, if you see that little knob right there on the left side, if you need no, it's the one, that little black one. Yeah. If you
Do I
pull it
sound all right here? Do you want it closer?
Closer.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
You can do it closer.
Closer.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
What about now,
Yeah.
Daddy? All right.
Wow, okay. Now, but look, man, we got a pretty good episode on the way, man, or today. You know, something that a lot of people don't talk. Dang, look at him.
What the hell is going
Bro,
on?
my
Now
eye.
he crying, man.
Bro, my eye, man. It's
crying.
crazy. Bro,
My boy been on the grind, man. That's what happens.
bro, I can't put eye drops in my ear. You want me
your
to go
ear?
through it?
Your ear.
In your ear?
Fuck, I'm
He
in my eye.
can't. All right, guys.
I'm still trying to wake up, bro.
It's okay.
I'm still trying to wake up.
It's all right. But for today's episode, it's a pretty good one because I think we all us can relate to it, even especially as a man, you know. And for like, I know like mental health awareness or even men's mental health awareness that goes around during the summer and stuff. But even when it goes like even when it's
Gets worse during
that
the winter.
month and stuff like that, I mean it gets wild.
It gets worse during the winter.
and no one really talks about it as much. I mean,
And it's not really even men, it's everybody in society. But nobody ever talks about men's mental health in general. So
yeah, because I mean, mental health, I hear it all around, but I never really hear it from a man standpoint and whatnot. So that's pretty much the reason why you're here, because not only like we all can have our experiences and all that stuff, but you actually work in a field to where it's pretty common to hear about problems from a mental health standpoint and all that stuff, suicide, all that craziness stuff. And I actually want to kick this off with you told me about like a time to where you would get calls and all that stuff, and you would hear just certain things going on. You've witnessed suicides firsthand and all that stuff, and just tell us like how that stuff kind of like plays out.
Oh man. So as a dispatcher, dispatcher in law enforcement, we have a non-emergency phone, then we have 911. And it's not uncommon at all for me to get 4, 5, 6, 7 suicides a week, whether it be somebody actually trying to take their life, or somebody trying to overdose, or somebody just simply thinking about it and they actually want to do some good changing in their life, and they don't know where to start. So,
which one is kind of like more common?
The overdoses right now are through the roof, but the suicides right now, they're terrible when it starts to get colder outside. The faster it gets dark outside, the more often.
Yeah, I mean, it gets dark at like 5 o'clock now, and I'd be feeling like it's like 8 o'clock outside and stuff.
I'd be thinking I'm late for work. Turns out it's only 4:30.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I can't do it.
I just started my shift.
Yeah, I was like, why am I think I'm late for. Like, let me just go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did be pitch black outside. I'm like, yo, what? That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it takes some real tough skin to obviously be in that kind of field and all that stuff. So, and you being, in dispatch and the law enforcement and all that stuff, it takes guts to do all those things and to
Appreciate it.
Even like from officers and all that stuff, they gotta like witness the worst of humanity.
They do
every single day. So
They do.
The fact that y'all still do that stuff, I mean, coming from me personally, I appreciate the heck out of y'all, man.
I appreciate it.
So
I love what I do.
yeah.
I've been doing it for going on 4 years now. So
Yeah. I mean, I hope so. I mean, I would.
it helps though having somebody to talk to and having a good circle that can understand.
Oh yeah,
And-
for sure.
And it helps a lot that I can talk to her about everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And she
Yeah.
listens to me.
Yeah,
and, she's just understanding and she's just there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Having
don't
that-
need you to. I just need you to be there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure,
So-
for sure. Because back in my weaker days, I mean, the only person I used to talk to was this guy. I mean, and
I would always say.
yeah, he will always say the same thing though.
It's
like
gonna be all right, Joe.
Exactly. That's literally what he always says.
I'm like, hey, you gonna be all right, Justin.
And it was
You gonna be
crazy.
all right.
99% of the time, I was usually
Gonna be all
gonna
right.
be all right.
Yeah.
So
You,
yeah, I mean,
you undefeated right now, man. You're still here. So
yeah, exactly. So I
look at it that way.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
you got a pretty good life, man.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
grind, you got a good girl beside you.
Yeah, but-
providing for yourself. You got a good brother.
yeah, but there be some days though, man, where you just like feel like you're not good enough. There be some days where you just feel like
Yeah.
you're not putting in enough work, where you just be tired.
Yeah, but
And-
that's everybody.
Yeah.
You're not alone. You're not
Yeah,
alone.
yeah,
And
I know.
that's something that a lot of people need to understand too.
I know, but a lot of people, they shut down like whenever they feel like that. Me personally, I just want more. Like whenever I get like that.
Grind,
'cause-
baby, grind.
Yeah, yeah. Because me personally, like I haven't really had much. I mean, growing up, I had the minimum stuff, but I always
think
wanted more.
I think we had like a simple.
Yeah.
I think our life was pretty simple. I mean,
Yeah.
we all had our like ups and downs here and there.
Yeah, but
think
I always
the
wanted
downs-
more.
The downs for us were like low, like
Yeah.
real low. But like the ups for us were like cloud 9, best days ever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And-
That's kind of how it was for us.
Simplicity goes a long way.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
oh yeah, for sure, man. But I always
And-
wanted more.
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with like growing up with a single mom, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, growing up in that life versus what some other people consider that have 2-parent households. You know what I mean? Simplicity to us is different than their simplicity. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think for us guys who grew up in single mother households, like we're not really around men, so we can't really explain to men like what we're going through. Like we can only
Yeah,
explain to the ladies. And I always say that ladies, they have sympathy, but they lack empathy because they don't really understand what a man goes through.
yeah.
Yeah. Simply because they're just.
Exactly. It's simply
Nah,
because, yeah, exactly.
I mean, they can't control that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not their fault. I mean,
Not
they're
their
just
fault.
not men, so they don't really understand. Like, I mean,
Yeah, but there's a strong I don't want to say disconnect, but there's a strong I don't know. I guess it's thought or something where the man has to be a lot stronger than what is portrayed to be. You
oh
know what
yeah,
I mean?
oh yeah, for sure,
And
for sure.
I think it's quite frank bullshit that a man can't, feel those emotions or go through that, and without it being frowned upon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because you're going through a hard time yourself doesn't mean that you have to be any stronger than somebody beside you.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I get that, but
And, yeah.
I get that, but yeah, I was always the guy who like I always feel those emotions like no matter what, but I just want to be able to process them well. Like I will still want to be able to do what I need to do regardless of how I feel. I can worry
understand that.
I can worry about how I feel later because if I worry about how I feel now, I'm going to end up losing because life's
stop.
yeah, because life's a competition, man. And if you're too busy worrying about how you feel, you're going to lose every single time.
I don't disagree with that, but I think there needs to be times where you need to break down what that's going on in your head.
Well, of
too.
course. Well, of course.
Because that's the thing, man. That goes with the mental health shit that we're talking about right now. Like, you could keep trucking. You need to keep trucking. But at what point do you need to sit down and break down what?
Well,
is
most
going
people
on?
will.
Well, I do it after I do what I'm supposed to do.
Understand.
Well,
Like I worry about all that outside stuff after I take care of what I need to.
Well, the thing is that most people don't know when the end is, or they don't know when that checkpoint is, because most people will do the things that they have to do, but will sacrifice their mental health in the middle of it. Like we can like be on the grind, so to speak, or grind our butts off, but at the point is that like, okay, when is it enough? When are you content? Because if you're never content, you're gonna lose. I believe in that way, because you're always working up to a mountain that's like always there's no top to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And at some point,
When you're peaking out.
Yeah. And at some point, I believe it's like you can't be driven by all these things, is money and all that stuff, because at some point, all this stuff will die out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you have to be content with what you have. And I think that's what I used to think it was a bad thing, being content and all that stuff. And to some degree, I mean, like if you're like in like deep shit,
Yeah.
you know,
to some degree
I think
it is.
at some degree you will want to be better.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Well, you can be content with yourself until you have a family to provide for.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's when what you said comes in. You got to put some shit to the side, and you got to grind and provide
get stuff
for
done,
your
regardless of how you
wife and
feel.
your kids. Yeah. You got to get shit done.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna. Because I want to be the reason why I win and lose. I'm not gonna let all this outside stuff be the reason why I can't get what I need to get done.
Yeah.
And
that's one thing you really dread. Like one thing that you really focused on ever since you left college was that you want to be in control of
for sure,
of your future.
For sure, because why would I?
You hate not being in control.
Yeah, exactly. Because why would I put my future in someone else's hands? Why would I put how I live in someone else's hands? I want to be able to control that myself.
Yeah, because honestly, nobody else's fucking opinion of you matters.
Exactly, and at the end of the day, I know even if I became one of these people who haven't done anything, I know that nobody would give a fuck about how I felt.
Yep.
At least you know, if it ever came to that, God forbid, at least you would know it's like, okay, I brought this on myself. No one else has done this.
Yeah, I'd be the reason why I lose.
You have to take responsibility for your actions.
Exactly, and I have to, be accountable for everything that I've done.
But not a lot of people are holding themselves accountable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
So, that's very true, and that is a problem. I mean, but what can we do about it? I mean, we can't force them to be accountable.
You can only worry about yourself.
Exactly.
And you can only, and I'll even go as far as saying maybe like your small circle, check on your boys too.
Yeah. But at the same time, I can't control anyone's battles that they're going through. Hell, I can only control
it, but you can be there for them.
Exactly, yeah. I can only be there for them. I can only tell them what I would do, and it's up to them if they listen or not. Because most of the time, I ain't going to lie to you, whenever I give advice to someone, they already know what they're going to do before I even give them the advice.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience, it happens all the time.
Yeah. Now,
this wasn't about mental health, by the way.
No, we got sidetracked.
Crazy, man. Now, let's see. The question I have for both of y'all, or for all of us, is that why is men's mental health ignored in the society that we live in today?
Because we're raised that men's mental health doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean?
It doesn't really matter.
Kind of what I was saying a minute ago. Like, you still gotta grind and provide. Like, you got a family to take care of most of the time. Like, your fucking mental health don't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's the reason why people use drugs. That's the reason why people use alcohol and they become alcoholics, is because they don't know how to cope, or they don't know how to deal with their emotions, because nobody ever taught them or showed them how to deal with it. Therefore, that's the reason why they break down the way they do, is because they don't know how to deal with it, and they don't have anybody to talk to. Because you go and you talk to somebody about it, and most of the time they're just gonna be like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to get
that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
And here's also another.
I'm here for you, though. And then you actually take them up on them being there for you, and
you look at it like,
what the fuck?
Yeah,
what the
and
fuck?
another reason why is, I mean, society, it doesn't really respect most men. I mean, they
not anymore.
Yeah, no,
used to be the man was the man was respected.
Exactly. We used to respect the man who built America. Now they're being frowned upon. But for the man who they actually do pay attention to, yeah, they actually pay attention to that man's mental health. But
it goes back to what we've said 100 times before. There's not a lot of men leadership.
no, there's not.
No strong men, at least. And if they are incredibly like rare, like and valuable and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, to me at least, I believe like I have a writing here that says this: like men in particular are commonly seen as self-sufficient, unemotional, and tough.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because like when guys get in a relationship, I feel like they're very unemotional. But I can kind of see it in y'all, and I know that I'm emotionally intelligent, and I feel pretty confident saying that. But you have to bring out that emotional side too, right? Mm-hmm. Because you have to show your woman that you're emotionally intelligent and that you are in connection with your emotions and how you feel and how things are going between you two, and you know that kind of thing. So,
I think that's just communication.
Huh?
I think that's just communication.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm able to control my emotions. I'm able to process them. That's how I realized that I became emotionally intelligent, like really quickly, because I wasn't always like this. I was always more so of a emotional kind of guy. I mean, growing up, because I mean, I think this is what happens to most. I mean, I think this happened to most guys who grew up wildfires. I mean, they grew up to be more emotional or more reactive off those emotions. Now,
right off the rip, you
exactly.
Don't think about it, you just do it.
Now, I realized the cons of it pretty early, so I knew that I had to change. But there's a lot of people who react off their emotions. Hell, I bet my bottom dollar most men who you see get locked up, they don't have fathers.
Well, I think that
I worked in the jail for a little bit, and
oh really?
I would sit down with some of them, and you would be surprised how many tell me that they didn't have men leadership in their life.
And that's what I'm saying.
Now,
you go ahead.
All right. Well, I was saying like whenever I say things like self-sufficient, unemotional, and tough, when men start to deviate from that stereotype, they would usually people can respond by being judgmental, or sometimes just
judgmental is such a norm these days. Though it's been such accepted to judge somebody on the outside, but not see what the hell's going on the inside.
And that's one thing I've really been working on for myself. Because me recently, I just got back into the church and all that stuff. And whenever I would look at, let's just take, for example, like girls' body count and whatnot, right? I used to, I mean, you can look at maybe when we first started this podcast, I was ruthless.
Yeah, you were.
Like, oh, she got a body count of like 10. Oh, whore. Blah, blah. But I wasn't looking at myself thinking like, bro, like, I'm not, like, I ain't shit. I was doing the same thing. So I can't look at her or this guy or be like, oh, well, you do this and that. Well, I'm not looking at myself.
Bro.
Like, we're in the exact same boat because, like, in the eyes of God, I mean, we're both terrible. I mean, if I have body count of 1 and some chick had body count of 100, God would look at it as like, y'all both the same. I mean,
honestly, I don't give a fuck when it comes to that shit.
Most guys don't.
Well, it's not even that. Like, I look for heart, personality, what you bring to the table, and are you wifey material right off the bat? Because if you're not wifey material right off the bat, I ain't gonna change you to try and be wifey material from being in a relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and here's one thing where a lot of ladies fuck up at. They expect us to be husbands before we're married, but some of them, they don't want to be wives before we get married, and it's kind of contradicting because we're expected to protect and provide, I already said protect and provide. Yeah. We're expected to be that man before we even talk about even being married. Like we're supposed to be that man from the jump always. But it's like they can pick and choose when they want to be a wife. Like, I mean, how does that work? Like, you're supposed to show me why you'd be a good wife.
Yeah, I always say I was talking to a girl at Cahoots last night because for some reason a girl would like come at me with some guy problems. I'll be looking at her like, oh, it's always a guy, man. Like, it can never be about drugs. So like, dang it, change it up a little bit. But nah, that's a joke. But listen, that's a joke. But like I will always tell her, I'm like, listen, you want a relationship or you want a guy to look at you past a one night stand or something like that.
Stop going to the
I
bar
tell
looking
her,
like a hoe.
One, it's very rare to find love at a bar. It's like a needle in a haystack.
Yep.
I've only seen it happen 3 times, and
I found mine.
now
the needle in the
four.
haystack.
All right, great, 4 guys. Yes. Now, I always tell the girls like, listen, a woman, like it's clear you could do what a man could do most of the time, right? That's just obvious. But if you want to stand out from most of these girls, women were made to do everything that a man can't do. So if you find things that a man really can't do in his life, if you feel those things, he will remember you. Whereas if you were to do things that a woman can't do, she will remember you as well. Mm-hmm. Most of these things,
here's what women
You
like
what
to
I
do.
mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. But here's what women like to do a lot of times. They tend to operate in what they want from that man instead of operating in what that man wants in them.
That's true. It's kind of like
that's
more like take.
Exactly, and that's usually why they can attract the man, but they can't keep the man around.
Yeah, any girl could get a man to sleep with him, but can you get a man to wake up early in the morning and provide for you for that life that you want to live? That's the real key. Most girls can sleep with any man that they want to.
Yeah,
but getting that man to get on one knee is a whole nother thing. Why do you think girls be freaking jumping with joy whenever they about to get proposed to and whatnot?
Yeah,
because they know it's like, yes, I did it.
A girl getting a man to sleep with is the same as us getting an A in PE class. All you gotta do is show up. That's all you gotta do is show up.
That's crazy.
You got to put no type of effort in.
I have never heard.
What the fuck did he just say?
I have never heard that before. Can you repeat that one more time, man?
I said.
Hold on, yeah. I got it.
Okay, I said a woman getting a man to sleep with her is the same as us getting an A in PE class. Okay. All you gotta do is show up.
I've never failed a PE class. You're right.
Exactly. All you gotta do is show up. It's literally that easy.
Yeah.
Then you gotta put in no work for that shit to happen.
Yeah. Now, one thing.
Maybe send like a text or two, woo.
Woo. Now, one thing that I have seen is that social media and just everything else around has put unrealistic expectations on love and relationships.
Yeah, but
now
I will go ahead and interrupt you and add that social media even adds the toxic mental health shit to it as well. Because there's a lot of unhealthy comparison now.
Yeah, very unhealthy comparison from women and men, where for women it's like what they should look like and all that stuff, and for a guy it's like how much money you need to make, what kind of lifestyle.
I will
all that.
Listen, you ladies, stop going out here and altering yourself to look something different. Be your natural beauty and fucking be happy with what God has given you.
But you gotta think about this though. But you gotta think about this though. They're just playing the game whenever they do that. Because I mean, most women they're built to deceive. If you think about it, fake hair, fake eyelashes, makeup.
I mean, it works.
Titties done, ass done.
I mean, it works for him, but I got a question for you.
Because let me tell you something.
How much is your soul worth?
Because I'll tell you this. Because Parker, a lot of men, they ain't gonna be able to get away with that same shit. I mean, I think the only thing that a man could do, like to fix himself up, is probably veneers, maybe, or a hair transplant.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that we could do.
Up teeth. I could, but that's a whole different thing.
Exactly.
That's a whole
different thing.
I think that's a way different thing.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
When it comes to unrealistic expectations, think of it this way:
we really don't have a lot of unrealistic expectations.
Well, just hear me out. Romantic comedy to women is like porn to guys. Now, romantic comedy it puts this picture of like how they think love should be, whereas the man's just going above and beyond for the girl. It's just this perfectly happy ending and all that stuff. But you have to notice most romantic movies stop at the wedding. They don't talk about them hard 50 years that go afterwards.
Nah,
because them things is hard. And then
how do you and another thing too that's not really talked about is how do you keep the interest and the love going after marriage?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's a good question because because we know as guys, we know that we're not going to get as much sex whenever we get married. All right, because that's definitely going to go down.
That's
because
tough, man.
What? It's real because guess what? The woman got what she wanted.
No,
that ring.
Not if y'all two are actually in love and
but it's gonna go down regardless because guess what? Your woman at 40 is not gonna be the same woman that she is at 20. She's not gonna want to have the same amount of
I'm sorry, but
sex that you do.
I don't know about it.
I mean, I'm just saying, but yeah, your woman at 40 is gonna be completely different to a woman at 20.
I'm not making love to my woman because of sex. I'm making love to my woman because we're.
I get that, but I get that, but what if she doesn't feel like it anymore? I guess you could say.
We're going to the doctor and getting it fixed, I guess.
Ah, shit. Okay.
Whether she don't
hormone check.
Whether she don't feel like it, well, I'll tell you what. I'll go to work and only pay bills when I feel like it. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's usually. Yeah, they usually don't like that logic. But yeah, that was some good logic though.
Now, I will say this: you shouldn't be in a relationship because you can just, have sex all day. If that's the point, you might as well just go to a whorehouse.
Yeah, man, for real. You might as well just go ahead and just pay for that shit real quick.
Now, obviously, seek God first. Everybody, you should put God before your girl, anybody else, and trust me, it all falls into place. I've been doing it just for a couple of months. Life feels a lot more simpler than what it does. So, it's a lot more easy than you think out here. And
speaking of sex, I have a question for you too.
Oh, Jesus.
Whose fault is hookup culture?
Whose fault is hookup culture?
Yes.
I think hookup culture was set in stone before our generation came around.
I think it was set in stone. I think now it's just being really accelerated.
Yeah, and now it's just been socially accepted as okay.
Yeah.
And in all reality, it's really not because going back to the mental health thing, I think the hookup culture is what plays a little bit of the part of people being so mentally fucked up when it comes to being alone and in relationships because they feel like they're just being used for sex and then the emotional connection behind it just gets second guessed because they've been used for the physical side.
I feel like there's a lot of these women with daddy issues who feel like that. Who they tend to.
In all reality, the daddy issues all around is what fucks people up.
Oh yeah, of course.
What answer do we always come back to?
This just goes back to fathers.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay, now I'm gonna give you the real answer because y'all got this pussyfooting around it. Okay, the answer is women's fault, and here's why. Because who has all the power whenever it comes to sex?
Girls. At least.
Right? Women, right? Right? So would you say with that power comes a responsibility?
Yeah.
Okay. And who controls who has sex? Women, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that would give them authority, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when you have authority, guess what else you have? You have responsibility. So they are the ones choosing who gets the sex or who doesn't. Because let's be real, not a lot of guys getting a lot of sex compared to women. All right. Because think about what a guy has to do for it. He has to work for it because he doesn't have that power. And if he does have that power, then he has to earn it. I can see what you're
saying.
Yeah, he has to earn it.
Think about it. I can see what you're saying.
He had to earn it because let me tell you something. If women really liked good men and if they really wanted men to wait until they were in a relationship, there'd be a whole lot more men getting into relationships for sex. To have sex, my bad. But there'd be a whole lot more good men getting into relationships if women actually wanted that. Because they have the power.
Now, I will say this. Whenever I do hear stuff like that about what I've been hearing going around is whether it's the red pill or the manosphere is what they usually call it, so to speak. In these spaces, all I really hear is just most guys aren't getting sex, blah, blah. And to a degree, that is true.
It is true.
I mean, that is true. Now, I will say that, that kind of thinking long term is bad. Because at the end of the day, it's like I think with those things, like if you want a lot of sex, listen to those people. Like if it's sex that you want, listen to those people. But I think it stops there. I don't think it gets you that marriage or something that's fulfilling. And I think we need to be looking at things that fulfills us more and not things that like give us that little temporary pleasure.
Well, yeah, of course, but you have to think about this as well. Sex is the ultimate form of submission.
The ultimate form of submission.
Yes, because from a woman, because a woman's literally telling you, all right, hey, I know the risk of having sex. All right, I could potentially bring another you into this world. I can potentially die or go blind from having your child.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like how you. Okay, I see what you're saying, but that is not a common thought.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But that could happen though.
But who's thinking like that? But I mean, who do you know out here that's like thinking that way?
I mean, I think women deep down they think like that because if they allow a man to have sex with them, like they're basically telling, "Hey, you are that guy, and I think you're good enough for my body." I mean,
well, most girls out here are not. They're just like giving it up.
That's a wifey material thing to think.
Yeah.
Well,
that's not part of hookup.
Maybe I only mess with wifey material women. I mean, I could be speaking for them. I mean, I don't really speak for hoes.
Yeah. That's funny.
Respectfully, I don't really speak for hoes, so maybe I'm bullshitting. I don't know.
Yeah. What? I got something for y'all.
All right, what's good, boy?
Back to the mental health part.
What's good, boy?
Now, why don't men seek therapy?
Two reasons. A, because you'll get judged for it, and everybody's too worried about what other people think. And B, there's a stigma behind that. If you go seek therapy, you're weak. And 3. I will, because it just popped in. Yeah. I know I said 2. But 3, I think it's underrated because we've been talking about this, and I want to go to better myself. And also, I think it would be better for our relationship if I went to seek help. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that more men need to get into therapy and stop giving a fuck about what other people think and better themselves because, I mean, how many people have you talked to that said that they went to therapy and it didn't work or it didn't help in some sort of fashion?
There's a lot.
Yeah. You know
I mean, there's stories out there, but I think most people really give they walk up in there thinking that like, oh, this guy talking to me is going to fix all of my problems, and
he's there to help guide.
He's there to help guide, but it's up to us ourselves to really put in that work because that's when change happens. Is when you look in yourself and you realize that. Like,
I think a therapist is there to because they really want to break down. Why the hell are you here? Why are you here? So let's break it down.
Why are you in my office?
Yeah, there's men like Robin Williams. I mean, there's men like Robin Williams. I mean, he went to therapy and.
Yeah, but that's Robin Williams, my boy. That's a whole different story.
Yeah,
Robin Williams problems are probably not anywhere close to our problems.
Yeah, we gotta think like we ain't no
but still,
you ain't no Robin Williams, my boy.
But you're missing the point though. It was a man who went to therapy and he's still,
Okay, so what's the next step? What's the next alternative if you don't go seek?
I'm about to say, my question is, why did he go in the first place?
Well, that's a very good question.
Yeah, I mean, no one really knew like what he was going through.
Exactly.
Yeah, no one
you don't
really
ever know what
through.
somebody's going through.
Yeah, exactly. and I can only speak for me personally when it comes to depression. I mean, I believe in feeling depressed, but I choose not to believe in depression because here's why: depression is the enemy, and when you believe in something, you give it power. You give it power. Mm-hmm. And why would I want to believe in depression if it's the enemy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually, I mean that. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
it's a little devil on your shoulder.
You can just say, "Oh, I don't believe in depression,"
Yeah.
And because of that, I can't be depressed and all that stuff.
No. I believe in feeling depressed, but I don't believe in depression.
Okay. Like as if it's like like you just been diagnosed with it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But I believe in
like a disease. You don't
exactly.
believe in that,
Exactly.
yeah.
But I believe in the temporary
Let's
emotion.
go get people on their toes right there.
I mean, I'm just no.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just for myself.
No. Yeah.
Now, obviously, I believe in the temporary emotion of feeling depressed, but I don't believe in depression.
Like if I was in jail, I'd be like, damn.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you,
know what I mean?
most men most guys, they're not really depressed. They're just in a competitive space and they're losing. Because guess what? I bet you, if you gave them $3 million in a blue check, that frown's gonna be smiling real quick.
If they won the lottery, if you give,
That's temporary emotion.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, obviously we all have our own battles, but me personally, I choose not to believe in it because I know it's gonna make me weaker. Because it's the enemy. I don't want to believe in the enemy. I want to believe in me.
I think it's good to feel. I think it's good to feel that because I think after or once you feel like you're pulling yourself through, you reflect on it and you appreciate that you came thus far.
Well, yeah, of course.
So I think it's a good thing. I think people need to feel more, emotionally, but in an emotionally intelligent way.
Yeah.
I always say,
and men need to stop being so fucking cut off to themselves.
Yeah, that always hurts.
Let's break it down though.
Yeah.
An emotionally unemotional man that has a family. Let's think about how that affects the family. That's going to affect your wife negatively. That's going to affect your kids negatively. That's going to affect everything negatively. So if you're going to come home from work and be a straight asshole because you're unemotional and you're cutting yourself off from your family and your wife,
you're literally just pushing them away.
You're pushing everybody away. And I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
And it takes trial and error to get over it. But once you get over it and you start becoming a little bit more intelligent and a little bit more intellectual,
I will say
your life honestly starts warming up a little bit.
Well, yeah, of course.
I will say this. Whenever this is on, whenever we were interviewing Sarah on the podcast, this one just went. You went into the bathroom at one point. She had said that she had, I guess it was the reason that they broke up or whatnot, or it was like a part of the relationship with her ex and whatnot. But she had wished that he was being more of her best friend in that moment than her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because she was going through a very traumatic experience and whatnot. But she wished that he was a little less logical in that sense. And that's one thing that like made a lot of sense. Because like if a girl's like in a really emotional state, you really can't approach it with logic. You have to cater to those emotions, and to help her out and tell her, just be there with her. Just like how you said, just be there.
Yes, that's where our emotional side from being raised by a mother comes in. You know what I mean? By a single mother.
You can't look at her and be like, get over it, blah, blah, blah.
I can't. I absolutely fucking nowhere. Whoever does that, stop. Shut the fuck up.
Because I can't speak to my girlfriend like how I speak to him.
Yeah.
And I know that. Me personally, I try to have more. I try to have more patience when it comes to.
You have to have patience.
When it comes to my girlfriend, I try to have more patience.
I just know him from the inside out, so I can just be like, I can talk to him like that.
Yeah,
but he knows I care deeply.
Yeah.
You also have to learn how to put yourself in their shoes and be on the emotional side of what it's like to be a woman too.
Yeah.
And honestly,
I
think you'd be more of a man to admit that you are capable of doing such with your woman than you are to be like, fuck her feelings, bro. You know what I mean?
And it's like, bro, no. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Now, let's see. Do you have anything else? I got two questions. I mean, I can.
It'll probably come up, but
okay, that's fine. Now, these next two are pretty simple. But what makes a man sad? What makes a man sad?
When he hasn't accomplished much.
Okay.
Because this might be controversial, but I believe
competency.
Yeah, competence.
A lack of competence.
Yes, and that is such in society these days. People do not think with fucking common sense, or they're not competent whatsoever. They're fucking idiots.
Yeah, and here's one, and
So like lifestyle choices, the choices that they made in their lives,
Yeah.
that eventually lead to.
Well, that's not even what I mean. I'm just talking about everyday occurrence.
Okay, okay.
yeah, and also
All right. Well, yeah, I'll try and figure it out. Yeah, never mind.
also, while men and women were put on this earth to procreate, I believe that one of the main reasons why a man is on this earth is to create things or make things, like create something. And usually, whenever a man doesn't create anything, it usually means that he's not really on his purpose.
Are you talking about just like when it comes to just like making things for the world, or just like biology, as
Both.
of like
Both.
creating like a family and whatnot?
Both.
Both. Okay. All right.
All right, and usually like whenever a man isn't really on his purpose, you see him usually tend to distract himself with temporary pleasures like sex, alcohol, drugs, video games constantly.
Now, are
Nah, don't get me wrong. Like I mean, there'd be
I don't
sometimes
know.
where I be
Video
playing-
games say
No. But yeah, let me finish. Like I mean, obviously, like like you're gonna want like sit down and play a little bit, but I want to do that like after I've done something.
You want to know what I think it is? Loneliness and a lack of social support.
Yep.
Now, have you ever played football in high school? Did you play football
yeah,
in
I
high
did.
school?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now,
I was DN. I played linebacker.
I played linebacker, middle linebacker.
I played the end.
I
Now,
played guard a little bit.
yeah.
Damn.
Damn. Now, what I've noticed, you can speak of this better than I can because you played college ball. You actually made that transition. But in high school to college, I believe that there's nothing like high school football.
Nope.
And if there's one thing that most guys will lose and will miss more than anything is
The brotherhood.
Is brotherhood. And like when I say lack of like social support, is brotherhood, that sense of belonging and all that stuff. Because it's a very masculine thing, but when you are running out of that, that little tar ball or whatnot, and you hear the band playing, you run with your boys, you're running towards battle, man. And you're all trying to win. And it's like war out there.
Hey.
It just feels like let's go. Like everybody's together, all these men are together, but after high school graduation, I mean, most of that goes away.
You want to know?
You get real lonely.
You want to know an organization that pick you up right now?
What?
The U.S. Army, baby. You want that brotherhood? Shit, you got the Navy, you got the Army, you got the Air Force, you got the Space Force.
Hey man, you get no.
Nah.
They'll give you that feeling real quick.
Oh yeah, man, you're right. Oh, if you didn't make it to college, man,
I don't know them niggas.
I ain't gonna lie, you going out there, bro.
Yeah, with due respect, yeah, but I don't know them niggas, so they can't, I can't.
Thank you, veterans, for who made that jump. To those
Man.
who made that choice, because man,
They
y'all better than me.
They better people than me.
Oh
They are
Sometimes I
better
wish
people
I'd
than
do
me.
it.
man, I mean,
Going back to
Sheesh.
the thing though, I think that me and you need to kind of break down for the guys though. But I think there is a huge disconnect and a huge maybe missing output on the outlook of coming home to your woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we talk about that temporary
Oh, man.
emotion. We talk about that temporary emotion, but in reality, like you come home after a long, hard day at work, or I come home from a pretty bad day at work where I just talked 2 people out of killing themselves. I had a wreck with injuries where we had 3 people get hurt or this, that, or the other. I think there's a huge disconnect between coming home and just like sitting down on the couch with your lady and just fucking talking.
Well, yeah, well, yeah,
she's
of
like
course.
your piece, man.
Exactly.
Yes,
yeah.
peace,
If that woman is like your piece, then
Yes.
obviously you're gonna want to come home.
And I think there's a huge association with like disconnecting from your emotions as far as that goes with the temporary emotion of like playing a video game or whatever.
Yeah,
but
of
nobody
course.
ever talks about coming home to your lady and just being there with her. You know
Yeah,
what
of
I mean?
course. Yeah, of course. If she's your piece, obviously you're gonna want to go home. But if you don't feel like as a man that you're getting the respect that you deserve, then you're not gonna go home.
Like
You're gonna go somewhere else and give it that respect.
you don't need the temporary.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I mean, just like what you said, I know a lot of guys that I mean, I can see it right through a lot of guys. I'm just thinking like, bro, if he or him just had a girl that was there for him, had his best interests at heart and all that stuff, I know most guys just get motivated just off that. You know, they'll go break their backs over at work like 100-hour weeks because they have a girl that would, you know, care to him, understand the sacrifice that he's making, and appreciates those things.
There is no better thing in this world than having a partner that understands you mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Yeah.
Oh, of course,
Yeah,
of course,
absolutely.
of course. Ow.
Absolutely.
Nobody ever talks about that.
No.
Nobody ever talks about that.
No.
And it goes back to the mental health thing. If you have a partner that can provide stuff like that for you, your mental health is going to be 10 times better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that is such a rare thing to have these days because of high divorce rates or the hookup culture that we live in.
Yeah.
No, not a lot of people understand that.
Yeah. And speaking of which, this is the last question I had. And after that, I don't know if you have anything. But for this last question, how do you think a woman should treat a masculine man? Because I hope for most girls out there with good sense, they don't want a feminine guy. So I say masculine man. So like,
no. I think confident women bring out feminine men in a sense. Or hold on, let me break that back. Let me bring that back. I think strong women bring out the masculine men on their feminine side. Does that make sense?
So, see,
define strong woman.
Like a strong, confident woman.
We might have two different.
I think. I thought you were speaking like I think a feminine
Yeah,
woman
I think
brings
feminine
out the
is strong.
masculine in a guy, and I think a man. Whenever a man I think when a man is masculine and a woman is feminine, I think that's when they're the happiest.
Yeah, because I believe a strong woman is feminine.
But there is a feminine side to every man that needs to be brought out, and if you have a strong, collected, confident, competent, I guess feminine would be in there too. Woman.
Yeah. Well, I think that could really be brought out, especially when when kids are in the picture and stuff. Like catering, caring, and all that stuff. Did
that make sense?
All that stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass right now.
Yeah, because I get what you're saying, because we as men, in my opinion, I don't think that a woman is not really going to get our best if she's not in her feminine, if that makes sense. Unless you like masculine women, but me personally,
everybody's different.
Personally, I can't do it.
I'm a little old fashioned, but
me personally,
I think there's a good mix.
No, not me. I mean, me personally, I can't do masculine women because and I don't really care why they're masculine. I mean, I can't be with you if you haven't addressed your issues into why you're not a feminine woman.
That's not what I mean.
Oh, okay.
I say masculine and feminine as in she can take care of herself. She can do this, she can do that, but then she can also have the emotional side to her as well. Because I think there's a lot of feminine attributes that can be brought out in multiple different ways. Like you can have a woman that likes dressing up in a dress, that's feminine. Then you also have the lady that comes out in jeans and boots with a button-up shirt, that is feminine as well.
Yeah, of course. Well, we determine like if they're feminine or masculine just from like how they talk. Like I'm not really worried about like how you're dressed. Like because that could be very deceiving. Like how do you really act? Because a girl could show up in sweatpants and a wife pleaser, and she could be the most feminine woman in the world.
Well, I say that most guys don't need any more manhood because they already have enough manhood.
Yeah.
And they need some womanhood. So, for me, I have a lot of manhood going around. Like my father, not my father. My papa.
We ain't got those.
We ain't got those. Oh, shit.
We all have a father.
But we all have a father figure. We have a father figure. We have a network of guys that believe that have our best interests at heart. We have that brotherhood in a sense. So I think now that I don't need no more manhood. So I'm looking for some womanhood. I don't need a girl to be acting like a guy.
I think we're all kind of saying the same thing in different
ways. Yeah, because we don't want to date another man.
I don't want to date another man, but like I have noticed that, like, especially like in this setting, like in like a country setting, like Tom girls and stuff like that are a thing. And I think that's all right. I mean, I know a lot of girls that like work in like very masculine fields. I mean, farming, all these things, but they still act pretty feminine.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think
That's what I've been trying to say.
Tom girls, in a sense, I mean, are pretty, but I mean, they can. I mean, I was in construction. There were some pretty feminine girls working with us, so I think they can do both like that. But I mean, I don't think a guy can really act like a girl.
No, hell no.
No, he's not gonna be able to.
But I think a girl can do both and still make it work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Man, he won't really thrive in this world if he's acting like a woman. I mean, unless he was. Unless he was like full on gay, then I mean, that might be a different story. But if a guy's like straight and he's acting feminine like a woman, it's usually going to hit the fan. Shit's usually going to hit the fan. I'm not going to lie.
Now, here's what I was getting to when it came to how do you treat a masculine man? And here's the advice that I have for girls coming from a guy. You have to let him be your hero, in a sense. Every man wants to be a hero.
Let him be your Morgan Wallen.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I bullshit.
But so I have something here. It says I know you're independent and you're extremely capable of doing anything in this world. That's obvious, right? We're in that time, and congratulations. Like, you're an adult. You can do those things now. But you have to let him help you. If he offers you to pick you up before a date, say yes. If he wants to carry your bag or open your door, tell him you really appreciate it. Let him know that you really appreciate these small things coming out of him, because he don't get these. He don't get that appreciation.
Small things matter.
Yeah. So men basically love to do things for you, especially the ones that have that kind of interest in you. So you have to let him just feel like he's your hero in your story and all that. And if you can make a man feel like he's being the hero, if you can appreciate him, bro, he'll move circles for you. He'll go crazy for you.
End of the earth.
And also, you missed the point there. You gotta give a man the number one thing that most men desire from a woman.
What, respect?
Yes. Because guess what? If a man doesn't get any respect from a woman, he can't operate in a sense that he would want to take care of this woman. Like I said, he's gonna go look for that respect somewhere else. Whether he stays at work longer, he stays out with his boys longer. If he's not really coming home like that, then
the Call of Duty lobby.
Exactly. If he's not really interacting with you as much, then it's because he doesn't feel respected. And a lot of men, they don't really feel respected.
Hey, man, I get a lot of respect in that lobby, man. I'm the shit. I'm the shit up in that Warzone lobby.
Yeah, exactly. And
like, Parker, where you at?
Yeah, exactly. And you feel respected there. I mean, that's why you might not want to get up.
Goes as far as like the emotional side, like respect his insecurities, respect this, the whole thing, and then it will be a return on investment towards you too.
Yeah, and to turn it back on the men as well. I mean, y'all not out of this either. I'm gonna get on your ass too. Women are not the enemy. All right.
No.
So y'all need to remember that as well. I mean,
whoa. Yeah, good women are not the enemy.
Good women are not the enemy, and don't be looking in places that most guys, like, y'all know who the good women are. But we are
vice versa.
But I get it, and vice versa. Women know who the good men are.
Well, actually, I think it's more obvious who the good men are compared to good women, because good women, they hang around the bad women. They dress the same. They talk the same.
That's a good point.
They dance the same. They have the same beliefs. They talk the same.
That's why
it's kind of hard.
That's why I'm thinking, like, bro, you're going to have to go to the extremes now. I'm talking about small town church girl nowadays.
Grocery store or
something. It can't be in a bar unless, you get lucky. My boy Dylan, right?
Yeah.
But, there's some good girls that go to the bar.
Unless you're on that kind of timing, then I wouldn't.
Unless you're on that, demon time, I wouldn't recommend it though.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Now, what was I gonna say?
Yeah, what you got, man? I'm done.
I think where men fuck up is they don't really know how women operate. That's why they want to hate women, because they don't know how they operate. My thing is, if you know how they operate, you can't hate them for doing what they do. So this is why I say, like, study the woman before you try to do anything. Because
I guess the nature.
I feel like right off the bat though whether she's wife material or not.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, for sure. From the first conversation, she wifey material or not, because we don't really.
You can tell by how she talks.
Yeah, exactly. We don't like to put ourselves like jump through hoops if she's wife material or not. No, we're going to go ahead and pursue that. I mean, and that's why I think men are a whole lot better. Like, we don't really jump through hoops to get what we want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, anything else you got?
Yeah.
Or yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we always give you the floor on the last part. So, like, is there anything you want to say
as far as the mental health stuff goes? I just want to tell everybody that if you are struggling, whether it be internally, in your head, in your heart, anything, do not be afraid to reach out to somebody and just fucking talk about it. Stop internalizing it. Stop keeping it to yourself. That's how you break yourself down. Stop going to drugs to think that it's going to fix your fucking problem. Stop turning to alcohol. I do not want to talk to you on the other side of that fucking phone. I'm tired of talking people out of this shit. And right now is the worst time to do it because depression's through the fucking roof. Drug use is through the roof.
Yeah, it's starting to get cold.
Alcoholism's through the roof. Domestics are through the roof. Stop putting yourself in those fucking positions. Just fucking talk about it. I don't care if it's through a therapist. I don't care if it's to your mom, your dad, your best friend, somebody. Tell somebody that you need fucking help. There's nothing wrong with needing fucking help. Yeah. At all. Yeah. Stop bullshitting. Yeah. Because your mental health fucking matters.
Yeah,
and you know, go to God too as well. Go to God, man, because He's the one that knows you better than your mom, better than your brother, your sister, your friends. Well, I mean, He understands the battles that you go through that no one will ever know. So if you stop going to things that have been created and start going to the Creator instead, you'll be surprised at what comes out of it.
And I'll even go as far as like, I know I said I'm tired of talking to people on the phone about it and shit, but like sometimes you don't know who to talk to. So if you feel like you want help but you don't know where to get it, fucking call. You know what I mean? I don't care who it is. I don't even care if it's 911. I gotta help you find somebody to get some help.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure.
But just fucking speak up and say something because your life fucking matters, whether you believe it or not. Because in the darkest of times, the little devil on your shoulder makes you feel like you're not. Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, you are. Yeah. So fucking reach out, say something, or even be the person that your boy needs to talk to. You know what I mean? It goes all ways. But right now, during this time of the year, we all need to help each other and be there for each other more than not.
Yeah, winter is here, guys.
Winter is here.
It's starting to get cold outside.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, it's starting to get cold, so them emotions gonna be hanging a little bit different for some people.
Yeah, cover season and all that crazy crap. But I'm gonna worry about that too much. Just stay focused on your purpose, guys, and trust me, man, everything falls into place.
Oh, for sure. Yep. Trust me, for sure. Yep.
Well, that's a good one.
You got anything else, man? Before we close this out?
Go Dogs.
Oh, whatever, man. All right, now, I appreciate you coming out, Dylan. Yeah. Give me something, dog. Part 2, man, coming. I really appreciate that, man. Part 3 most likely will be coming soon, man. You're going to be a regular on this.
I appreciate you.
On this show, man.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So, yeah, this has been a very good special episode about mental health and all that stuff.
There's a lot of stuff we didn't cover, though. But
man.
That's okay.
But it'll be for another time for sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you want to follow us on Instagram, everything will be in the link in the description. Our guest right here will put his social media in there as well. You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk to him on social media, give him a little DM. If you have anything you're going through, man, you can reach out to him that way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We all go through stuff. So
I'm more than willing to help.
Yeah, man. Well, guys, we'll see y'all later, man. And, peace.